Are you an entrepreneur that is maybe struggling with burnout? If you are, don't worry, we've all been there. And today we are going to be talking all about how to combat entrepreneur stress burnout. Walker, small business strategist, speaker, and author, and this is the first video in my three-part series on entrepreneur stress burnout. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then push the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content every Monday through Friday. In video number one, we're going to be talking about the symptoms of entrepreneur stress burnout and how to know if you're there. In video number two, we're going to be talking about how to avoid entrepreneur stress burnout. And in video number three, we're talking about recovery. So if you're already in that place of burnout, you're going to want to go to video number three and make sure that you get the tips and strategies that you need to pull out of it. So I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I started my first commission-only sales position when I was 19 years old. I started my first business when I was 21 years old, and I just turned 40. So I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I've seen the good, I've seen the bad. I've experienced the highs and the lows. So I've been an entrepreneur long enough to understand that there's a difference between entrepreneur stress that comes and goes and entrepreneur stress burnout, where you don't pull back up again. It's like the stressful situation kind of resolves, but you don't recover very well. You're still struggling. So this three-part series, I feel like, is very important for us to be able to know and navigate so we can experience more joy and be more positive and more hopeful in our journey of building our businesses. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you the 8 different symptoms of entrepreneur stress burnout, and you can kind of take a look at them and see if any of them are affecting you. So the first sign is actually exhaustion and getting sick. If you find that you just keep getting sick over and over again, or you cannot seem to find your energy, or you just feel tired all of the time, that's a sign that you're getting to that deeper place of burnout, that the stress has been there long enough that it's actually having a more significant effect. Years ago, I lost my voice for almost an entire winter. It was like I would get sick, I would lose my voice, and then I would get better, and then a week later I was sick again and I had lost my voice again, and it was just this place of I couldn't get well because I had been burning my energy for such a long time at such a high, fast pace that like I needed some serious recovery. It wasn't just a couple days in bed, like I needed some serious recovery. That's a sign of burnout. So pay attention, like how are you doing physically, because that's going to be an indicator of how you're doing emotionally and mentally. The second symptom of entrepreneur stress burnout is that your passion, your vision, and your enthusiasm for what you're doing is just kind of low. Like, you know, we all have those times where we wake up early in the morning, we've got all these great ideas, and we lay awake at night and we're just so excited we can't stop thinking about all of the things. That's not what this one feels like. This one feels like you're trying to figure out where you want to go, but you just can't see what comes next. You just don't know where to go next. This one feels like you're faking your enthusiasm all the time. That when you're telling people about what you're doing, you're putting on the smile and you're sounding energized, and the whole time there's this little voice in your mind that's like, liar, liar, pants on fire. I don't want to do any of it. And it's, you know, that happens to all of us, okay? So I want you to understand, everybody has those days. I'm not talking days, I'm talking weeks, I'm talking months. For some of you, you may have not been feeling passionate about your business for a year or two or longer. It's just a consistently low vision, enthusiasm, and passion. The third sign of entrepreneur stress burnout is actually struggle to focus. Like you're sitting there to do tasks and your mind just struggles to get in. You know, had this happen like last week where I was sitting there looking at my computer. It was about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I was going, I know I have things I need to do. What do I need to do? I can't even remember. I can't even focus. And I would start a task, and then it's like the brain power was just gone. Now, that was a day, and I did need to take some downtime over the weekend because that was a sign like, hey, if I don't address this, I'm gonna have an issue. But sometimes you'll go through seasons of prolongated lack of focus, and that can definitely be a sign of burnout. Fourth sign is irritability. You're just straight up crabby. Like little things are setting you off. Stuff that normally would roll off your back, you're like, oh, this is making me crazy. And you're just irritable. That can be a sign of entrepreneur burnout. Next one is overwhelm. Like you are constantly feeling overwhelmed. You wake up in the morning feeling like you're days behind on your work and you'll never catch back up. I'm not talking about moments of overwhelm. I'm talking about like it's this consistent, ongoing feeling of overwhelm that even when you actually can accomplish the things that you need to and everything's going okay, you still feel overwhelmed. The sixth symptom is low productivity and low creativity. So this is where you're really kind of able to do the tasks that you need to do, but you just can't come up with any sort of creativity or like that magic special sauce that you get when you're in the zone and everything is flowing. You can't seem to tap into it. So it's like you can go through the routine tasks, you can do the mundane, but you can't seem to pull new ideas together and really hit that zone where the work flows and the creative ideas are starting to flow. All right, number 7 is when you are working harder, but you're actually accomplishing less. Oh, this one is sneaky because you feel like I'm working harder, I'm working harder, I'm working harder, I'm working harder, but you watch your output and it's like it's just eking along. It's not growing. You're not seeing like an equal return of reward for the time that you're putting out. Now, sometimes that happens and it pushes you into burnout, but sometimes that happens because you're in burnout. For me, if I ever notice that, I'm like, oh, I'm not at my best, because when I'm in burnout, let's be clear, I'm not at my best. And so I can put in the effort, but it's not like the full Amy capacity. Like my Amy magic is gone somehow. So that's something I definitely watch for. And the 8th sign of entrepreneur burnout that I watch for is heightened anxiety. So some people that are listening, you probably actually have anxiety, that this is a continual thing that is a part of your life and you find ways to deal with it and to manage. And some of you, maybe it hasn't been a part of your life in the past and it's not necessarily a mental health challenge, but you're feeling a lot of anxiety right now. I know for me, I hit a pretty significant entrepreneur burnout like 2 years ago. And for the first time in my life, I knew what it felt like to have anxiety, because I would wake up in the morning, anxiety. I would go throughout my entire day, anxiety. I would be driving in the car feeling anxious. I would be sitting on the couch with my family, like everybody's safe, everybody's fed, there's nothing wrong, and I'm just feeling anxiety. And it was a result of and a symptom of entrepreneur burnout. So why are we spending a whole entire video going over these symptoms? Because I think entrepreneur burnout is like a different category than entrepreneur stress. Stress comes and goes. Burnout is more like a condition that if you are not careful for, it can be detrimental to your business. I think we all know that we're going to experience stress sometimes when we're running a business. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of things we need to learn. It's a challenge. Things go great for a while and then sometimes they don't. We get that. We accept that. We embrace that. But this burnout is where I see people quit. It's where I see them walk away from the dream because they get to a point where they're like, it's just not worth it. I have seen multi-million-dollar business owners that their businesses are producing several million a year. I have seen them walk away from their businesses because the quality of life is lame and they're just not happy with it. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to recognize and make the changes. And here's the deal. If you're in entrepreneur burnout, you're gonna have to make some changes. So stay tuned for the rest of the series again. So part 2, we're talking about how to avoid burnout, because some of you, you're not here yet. You're listening to the symptoms going, well, that sounds awful, but that's not me. Great, we'll teach you how to avoid. Part 3 is for those of you who are listening I feel it. You're speaking to me, Amy. That's me. And I'm going to share with you how to pull yourself out once you hit that point of burnout. Now, if you want more help and another tool in this area, I have a 30-day challenge on peaceful productivity. So it helps you figure out how to get more done, but at the same time, not feel so frantic about it. And if you would like to participate in the free challenge, you're welcome to download, join the group, get started. The link is down below. All right, I hope that this has been helpful. I would love to hear from you in the comments. If this is helpful for you, please hit that like button, leave me a comment, and share this with someone in your community who you think could benefit. And if you would like to join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, I'd love for you to head on over to our private group. It's a great place to ask questions, get connected. It's called the CEO Spot on Facebook. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for your time and for being a part of this journey. I hope to be able to give you some great tips in order to help you grow your business.